Black Friday. Didn't buy anything. Bought nothing. I think Teresa bought a few things. Had a good Thanksgiving yesterday. We did the Friendsgiving thing. Ate lots of food. Not too much food, just lots of food. It was good. None of that has anything to do with pinball, but we'll talk a lot of pinball here on episode 206 of Coast to Coast Pinball. Let's go. Welcome to Coast to Coast Pinball. My name is Nate Shivers. Podcast commentary, man, out of quarters. Black Friday, Thanksgiving yesterday. It's like the double weekend, 4 days off from that whole job thing. Got to be liking that. Friendly listener, I've been sick. I've been really under the weather. Had this head cold, nasal thing. And anytime I thought about doing a show, because I've owed you 206 for a while, I realized that I couldn't talk for more than about 5 minutes without coughing and feeling bad. So there were no shows. That just is what happened. Also, I have been trying to get Josh Sharp to sit down and get on the phone with me or on the Skype machine, as it may be, and talk some pinball, because there were some news subjects that were pertaining to the IFPA and things of Josh's specialty I wanted to get done. So I just waited till Josh was ready and I was ready, and we recorded episode 206 here on Black Friday. So I hope everyone's having a great holiday weekend. Things will get back to normal here soon. It's been a hectic end of my work year, and actually I've been getting out and playing some pinball. Been playing pinball on location. Teresa and I went and tore up Attack from Mars at a pizza joint up the road from us a little bit the other night. Had a lot of fun. I don't want to admit that she beat me probably half of the games, but she did. My buddy Zach and I went out and played Kiss the other night. Spent a lot of time on Kiss and just trying to get to know that game a little bit better. And I'm still working on my super secret video-ish project that I'm going to be able to show you all very, very soon. Getting excited about that. Deep in the woods on that. So that's taking away a little bit of my time. But there's a lot going on. Josh and I are going to hit a lot of the high points here of what's happening, and then I'll get back to normal, doing the news, doing the forum static and all that good stuff in the next few days. But this is a really good episode of Josh. We talk not just tournament, not just competition, but we get into strategy, and you get to hear what's in Roger Sharp's basement. So that's always good stuff. So enjoy sharpshooting here on episode 206, and happy Black Friday Saturday morning.
Sharp shooting.
I would like to welcome back to Coast Pinball yet again, Mr. Josh Sharp. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm doing this live. I'm saying live because we're live.
We're live, but it's not live. No.
So it's not live from my parents' basement. Been down here in forever.
Are there pinball machines?
Of course there's pinball machines.
What's in the parents' basement?
Let's see. From left to right on your radio dial, we have a Sharpshooter 2.
Of course.
We have a Flash. We have an Evel Knievel, a Black Knight 2000, a Buckaroo, a Stingray, a Barracora, a Funland, a Cyclops, and then in the middle of the room that blocks all of the games from being played that I just named, a Global Warfare and a Sharpshooter.
That's awesome.
And then a Stingray carcass that's over here in the corner that's been like a parts machine for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
And a 5-star final from 1930-something. And then a bunch of other, you know what, I would go digging down here, but my dad would probably come down here and kick me out, and then we'd have to end this really quickly.
So that's Roger Sharp's basement. That's pretty interesting. Flash. There is always, at any given time, a Flash for sale in Southern California for what seems like a good deal. Like always. Like right now, there's one for like $600. Tell me about that game.
It was a lot, man. It was nice growing up with these games because, like, we weren't that good, so they were all, like, really fun. Flash is okay if you turn extras off, because we got to the point where every ball, your first thing is get an extra ball, and then you get to play with house money, so you have games that take, like, an hour plus. But, with the way that like game exploits happen, it's sort of like I feel like with Flash, I sort of feel the same way I do with Firepower, which is why I got rid of mine. Hopefully Eugene Jarvis doesn't listen to this because I still pretend like I own it.
I can confirm
it helps with my Christmas bonus.
Eugene Jarvis does not care about this podcast.
So like on Firepower, I got rid of it because the game is just, to me, a spinner all day. Like once you light it for 1,000. And there's there's a ton of cool stuff in the game, like, getting your multi-ball and locking balls and relocking balls and eventually all of that stuff just doesn't really matter. And Flash is sort of the same thing. You know, you're getting your flashes and you're doing your bonus, and eventually it's like, hey, why don't I just shoot this 1,000 spinner forever?
Interesting. Steve Ritchie game, right?
Steve Ritchie game.
Steve Ritchie game. Interesting. All right. Very good. Well, I've been holding off.
And it's a prototype. Red cabinet.
Ooh, red cabinet. Oh, that's what all the collectors want. That.
That's right. It'll go for $650 someday.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. What's the newest game in Roger Sharp's basement?
In the basement?
Yeah, what's in there? What's like the newest game? Most
Black
recent?
Knight 2000 is the newest.
Yeah.
I see all of the games. I think my dad realized, and I would never have gotten this house because, like, the access to the basement is awful.
So once they're there, they're there.
So I think, yes. Like Black Knight 2000, I believe the head had to come off in order to get it down there. So every game that's newer than that is upstairs.
That's interesting.
My poor mother.
Your poor mother. That's awesome. All right, so I have not recorded a show in a little while because I've been sick as a dog, and I was kind of waiting to talk to you because it seems like every other email or thing that popped up pinball-related in my world, I was like, oh, that'd be great to talk to Josh about.
Yay!
So we've been trying to find a way around the holidays and whatnot, and here we are.
My wife went Black Friday shopping, so she won't be here for hours, and my dad has the grandkids upstairs. I have all the time in the world now.
Excellent. Well, Teresa's sitting on the couch wanting to go Black Friday shopping, so I've got an appropriate amount of time. All right.
Trip reports.
Talk to me. You went to Orlando and did the Free Play Florida thing. I want to hear your trip report on Free Play Florida, which I can barely pronounce. I want to hear about the tournament. I want to hear about the show overall. I feel like this was sort of a growth year for that show. No? Yes?
Yeah, I don't know. What you heard it was like, what does that mean?
Well, I heard people that went this year were surprised how busy it was. Like there was a good selection of games, a lot of people excited about it.
I feel like it's been that way for a few years now. They're probably working in a space that it's sort of like Midwest Gaming Classic style, where it's just been too small, but it's been too small for like longer than the show hasn't been too small, so it just is what it is.
Sure.
But it was good. It was like your standard pinball expo in a different city.
A regional show.
Yeah. So good tournament, standard pump and dump lovin' with a Papa style final and
Papa Circuit event.
Papa Circuit event,
which seemed to draw some pretty good players.
It did. I don't know if it would have drawn me if I wasn't down there for work, but it draws me every year because it's tied to my work show, so that's easy.
So I got a text message, final day of the tournament in Florida, that said Trent Augustine, Jason Wardrick, both Sharps headed to the finals. Yeah.
Yes.
How'd that go? Tell me about the finals. How'd that go down?
Well, Zach and I were fortunate enough the top 4 qualifiers got to advance to the round of 8. So it was a double bye for top 4, single bye for top 8. I think my semifinal round, it was myself and both Lefkoffs, which was fun to watch.
Wow, yeah.
To watch Adam Lefkoff ride his bus of, all right, I'm trying as hard as I can. Now I'm trying to advance Escher. Nope, now I'm trying as hard as I can again. Now I'm trying to do what I can to make Escher advance. So
are you saying that he might have been throwing something to have Escher beat you?
I find that as a parent, I can only imagine the inner turmoil of like trying to and it's funny because he was honestly like, him and Escher had a talk before that, like, all right, we're about to go to war, and it's like, no, leave me, leave in between balls and stuff, just leave me alone or whatever. And like after every ball, Escher's like running to find him, and it's like, Dad. I can only imagine how hard it is for Adam to like have to focus and play that way without like Escher, asking him 100 questions or like telling him how it's going.
What's going to make that easier for him is that when Escher starts beating him,
right,
that's going to flip that right away.
With Adam running to Escher, do you want to know what I did? And Escher's like, dude, I'm in the Papa final. I don't care what you did in seniors. If you want a little bit of money, I guess I'll take half. But just get away from me.
Oh, they're some of my favorite people in pinball.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I advanced. And neither in the Lefkoff's world of trying to get each other to advance, they both didn't advance, so that didn't work. And then Zach, I forget who he had, but he advanced easier than I did because he's better than I am. So, it was an old school 90s final with 3 Chicago boys and Trentar.
What were Trent Augustine on a roll, by the way, lately?
Man.
Playing really good pinball.
He's good.
So what were the games in the finals?
The games were... Good question. Can you pull up the standings
You
and then
started
you can
something.
tell me?
You started with an older game first. I know maybe Comet or something like that.
Oh, Cyclone.
Cyclone,
Yes.
that's what it was. All right.
Started on Cyclone, and then we moved to... God, why is it so hard to remember? Too much turkey, man.
Tryptophan makes your memory go bad too?
I guess so. What? We definitely... No, we didn't play Walking Dead because I was already eliminated, so I picked a different game so Zach had a better chance to win.
Is that how that works?
We played Iron Man. It works when you have 0 points after 2 games. We played Iron Man for Game 3, and we played Kiss for Game 2.
Okay.
And then Zach and I finished tied for 3rd, and our tiebreaker for Loser City was on Walking Dead.
Okay, so...
And then Countdown was the 5th game that was not played.
Not played. How has Kiss turned into a tournament game? Like, what are your thoughts on Kiss now? Because there's a lot of, I think, talk about the rule set of Kiss, and it's done! And then some people are like, what do you mean it's done? It's not even close to done. But it's done!
It's done. I mean, it's mostly done. It's. I call it like Star Trek pre-Dwight. So
Okay.
I think we finished our Playmaker review. It's a lot of colored arrow. I call it the colored arrow target practice game.
Yeah.
So like the modes don't really mean anything to me. They don't make me feel anything while I play them. It's more
play
like
the yellow mode.
Play the yellow mode. Shoot yellow arrows. Oh, now you've entered a mode where you can shoot blue arrows.
Yeah.
And I think there's actually like multiple blue arrow modes. One's more of like a turquoisey, maybe like a magenta. I don't know. You can just the color palette for Kiss is endless because of their RGB LEDs.
Yes.
So you could literally Kiss has if they wanted to add 50 songs, all you need is 50 different colored arrows.
We're in the future.
And you're off to the races.
Yeah, here in the future of color-changing light bulbs.
Yes. So it's a little vanilla, but, I mean, for a tournament game, it actually works, quite well. It's kind of just a straight-up...
Make your shots.
Make shots, and you're probably going to win, start multi-balls, versus, like, Walking Dead, you can get into a situation where, like, you can play worse but smarter and win. Kiss, there's no really playing smarter unless you're like you have no idea what you're doing.
What are you doing on Kiss? Are you trying to start Demon Multi-Ball or the other one, the Star Child Multi-Ball?
I will gladly go a full game of Kiss without hitting a single Demon lock.
I knew you were going to say that.
And that'd be fine for me.
I knew you were going to say
that. So,
like,
I'll go to sleep humming Love Gun in my head forever. So, Love Gun Multi-Ball and a song mode. All day.
That's the way.
And just don't start a Love Gun multi-ball if you're like almost done with the song. Just finish the song, get to the next one, so you have like a loaded playfield of colored arrows, and then shoot colored arrows.
What city do you prefer to play in?
Chicago, baby.
Just kidding. They got to do something with the cities, right? Like, doesn't that?
No. What?
I don't know.
No.
It just
complete every city to win a T-shirt because that'd be impossible to.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems odd that I start the game with these city choices that don't actually do anything.
Get over it.
I'm not over it. That's all right. So, but Free Play Florida overall, good experience?
Good. Yep.
Good. Okay.
Yep.
What's your next tournament? What's your next circuit tournament?
I'm done for this season. I think if the Pin Masters makes the circuit next season, it'll be that.
Yep. Pin Masters. Plug Pin Masters while we're on the subject.
Pin Masters, March something in Vegas. Whenever the Texas Pinball Festival is, it's that weekend.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate.
Yeah.
It is what it is, though.
We'll fix that in the future.
We'll fix that in the future. All right, good. All right, let's talk about something that's sort of big news. I think in the terms of IFPA and pinball in general. Pinball returns to Twin Galaxies with the Worldwide Walking Dead Tournament.
Yeah.
Explain to people what we're talking about here with Twin. What is Twin Galaxies, first of all, for those who aren't in the video game world and don't know King of Kong and understand?
Do you know what Twin Galaxies is? You might actually know it better than I do.
Well, I mean, I do. It's the record-holding website for video games.
That sounds right.
And like the archive of all history and stuff. So like if you want to see who has the highest score on Donkey Kong, you go to Twin Galaxies and look because they are sort of the official sanctioning body. Of
yes, well, it's like the official scoreboard, right, or whatever. Exactly. That's what they're known for.
Yes. Correct.
So they have been lacking in pinball forever. And sort of rightly so, because those that play pinball, you know how hard it is to, like, I'm looking at the high score on the Flash that's here in the basement, and how the hell could you compare that high score of Flash to any other high score on Flash anywhere?
Because we're not playing the same game. We're playing the same
Correct.
game, but we're not playing the same game.
And for those that, you know, I'm sure you've run into it now, owning a few games and having to play the same title somewhere else, and how
It's a different game.
And it's almost like it's harder than playing a game you don't own, because you have to, like, unmuscle memory yourself.
Absolutely.
So it's been one of those things where they've never been able to get any traction. And they have a huge, the Twin Galaxies guy was telling me, like, how big their base is of people, and it's like hundreds of thousands of people. It's ridiculous.
Massive.
And they found a way to, with their, I think they call it the adjudication process, to verify whether a high score is valid or not. Because obviously pinball cheating is really easy, but video game cheating is also pretty easy. And we had a lot of talk about how this is kind of going to be impossible to do. And he said, you know what, with the way that, like, the adjudication process works, it's all, like, peer based. So if you're going to submit a video for Donkey Kong as a high score, you better be prepared for people to comment on it. And if you were trying to pull a fast one over someone, it's going to be on there forever with comments about how you're a cheater. It will ruin your reputation.
Exactly.
Instantly.
Have you seen The King of Kong?
I've seen The King of Kong.
Okay, so that was when I remember they had to submit full-length videos, and these guys were, like, in a room watching the video saying, oh, there's a jump right there. There clearly is an edit right there. This is
so
no good.
So that was, I guess there were people that were deemed, like, the judges or whatever, and the amount of content has not allowed them to do that method anymore. They can't have a guy. It's like me doing back in the day when I used to update results for Whoppers. I would literally, like, if you played in a tournament, I'd have to go open up your profile, and then I would type in the name of the tournament you played, and then I'd type in the number of points that you got, and then I'd add it to your profile. And that would be like if it was a 6-player tournament, that would be like 1/6 of my work done for that tournament. So we've come a long way.
Yeah.
And so have they. So now the people that are judging are the people that are also competing. So there's this weird sort of peer review process of, like, you can't just say that the guy is cheating. There's still, like, if you look at some of the videos, there's just comment logs of, like, great move here, and if there is something shady, they'll just bring it up at 13:29. This doesn't look good. Anybody else notice this? And it's just like comment until it's, you know, the guy gets busted or it's proven valid or whatever.
So, looking at it from a pinball point of view, we're starting out here with just a Walking Dead tournament. Is this the tip of an iceberg, hopefully, to just high scoring on pinball machines?
Hopefully. I know that, like, from the Twin Galaxies point of view, our organization can bring some validity to a pinball high score and what that means. Mm-hmm. And, you know, in talking to them, I was going through the process of, like, when I set up a game, like, these are all the variables, and it's, like, endless. So they just said, well, explain how you want a game set up, and let's just see what happens. So have you checked out it at all?
I'm looking at it right now. So in order to submit a high score for this Walking Dead tournament, you have to submit a video that shows the following little line items. I'll hit these real quick. Verification that a Walking Dead Pro Premium or LE model is being used. Okay, that's easy. Right. Verification of a game set at level left to right, so the game's level.
Yep.
Verification that it's set to a steepness of at least 6.5 degrees.
Yep.
Verification that outline posts are set to the maximum open position.
Yep.
Verification that the plumb bob is at least a 1/4 inch above the tilt ring.
How about that?
I mean, that's we're getting into the rabbit hole here.
A little bit.
Then you got to go into the software settings.
Yes.
Verify that the game is running version 1.41 or newer.
But you can see how long ago we started talking with Twin Galaxies about this. It's like one of your podcasts. The big news drops like the day after we make the Twin Galaxies.
Always. Verification that proper utilities installation was done, factory, novelty, competition. And then verification that the standard adjustment number 48 ball save time is set to no ball saves.
Yes.
And then you have to show that the tilt bob switch is functioning correctly. So that's so somebody doesn't set the thing nice and tight and then cut the cable.
Correct.
All right. So they have to submit that. I think some people will immediately see that and say, I'm not doing this.
Maybe.
And then some people will, I think, get really into this and say, finally, I can compete against the world.
Maybe. That's. I mean, I just don't know.
I don't know either.
It's kind of crazy. And I guess at some point I'm going to have to, like, submit one myself so I'm not, like, I don't know, just trying to blow smoke up people and show that it's not that hard to do.
I mean, I guess...
And it's going to be one of those things where I imagine that, because you're not going to, like, you're going to take the time to, like, move your camera around, do all the setup stuff, and then put up your camera and say, okay, we're going to start this high score attempt. I'm probably going to play 5 games over the next hour, and hopefully one of them works.
See, that's the problem, because doesn't the video need to be continuous? Because,
it does.
Yeah,
well, really, the video needs to be whatever you think will cause the least amount of comments for someone trying to say that your score isn't valid.
Because I can't go videotape all this stuff and then go, okay, we'll be right back with my high score attempt, cut, edit, and then start playing, because I could have changed it all.
You can certainly move the camera into, you can have a little Blair Witch style of, hold on, let me show you the plumb bob. You know?
It's going to be interesting because the variables go so far beyond this. Think about, like, different rubber on the game.
Sure. At some point, we had to just give up the ghost and, like, hey, if someone put some felt pad behind, that right orbit to stop the ball from going down the middle out of the jets or whatever, so it loops around quickly. Like, as the Twin Galaxy guy, Jace, told me, he's like, well, if someone notices something, it'll just be in the comments. So if someone's like, hey, there's, somebody put their outlane rubber post is a big fat yellow rubber. Like, this is crap. Like, they'll get caught, and then it won't be valid.
It's interesting because I think what's going to happen is you'll see some of that, but I think you're also going to see some amazing games of pinball played by people we don't know.
And I think the bigger thing is just the promotional aspect of getting people into, like, recording. The big thing about the King of the Ring tournament that we do is that you can't do it on any home WWEs, if any exist. I think Tommy Skinner sold his, so there might not be any left.
No, I think he decided not to sell it. I think,
well, then
not up to date.
He can be the only winner. Yeah. So, but, like, this is explicitly for homeowners to be able to set up their game exactly how we need to, where on a location, it's going to be really hard to be like, hey, location guy, we need to install Novelty, which is going to put the game on free play. And it's like, we don't do that. Like, we got to earn money. So it's something for the homeowner to participate in. And we'll see where it goes. If it works well enough for us to do another game, then we'll set up another game.
I'm going to give Jack or Stern or Spooky or somebody an idea here. What needs to happen is an automatic, constantly recording camera device on the game that's literally, and that as soon as you hit some threshold, it starts saving your recording for possible, high score games.
I like patent that.
I need to get on it right now.
If you want, you can go do that and then just call me back. And we can
probably not.
Finish up.
Sounds like a whole lot of energy. Well, that's interesting. I'll really be very interested to see if it takes off, and it'll be also fun to see what sort of games start popping up on Twin Galaxies down the road if this becomes a thing to, like, really put different games in.
I'll be interested to see if we ever get one submission. Like, I really don't know. It could totally bomb, and I'll keep the $100 that I put for prize money because I figured I had to throw something at it.
There you go. $100, Richard. Josh Sharp. All right.
But it's my own $100, so I'm actually just back to where it started.
At zero. You put up $100? All right.
I did. Why not?
Coast to Coast Pinball will put up a T-shirt.
Okay, well, there you go.
T-shirt. So now you got like $116 prize pool.
Not bad.
T-shirt for whoever gets the high score. All right. So
you got to get yourself a Walking Dead so you can participate and win your own T-shirt and my money.
I tried to buy a Walking Dead a few weeks ago. There aren't any to buy.
Not yet. They'll be back. They'll be back.
They're making them again. I literally called and tried to buy one. So we're working on it. Everyone has sold me on this game. It's the greatest game ever. Speaking of which, Stern released another code update for The Walking Dead before Thanksgiving. You own a Walking Dead. Did you put the code in?
I did.
Did you play a few games?
No, but I played it. No. I played 1.53 for a while, which because I'm an insider, Nate.
Oh, that's right.
So I was able to play some Lyman stuff.
You're a beta tester, Josh.
I am. Aren't all Stern buyers beta testers? Actually?
Ouch!
But
you were an insider until just then.
I was, yeah, not anymore. It's the release notes should have just said more awesomeness. Shut up, everybody.
Is this just a refinement patch, really?
Yeah. I can touch on it again. We talked about it a little off air, but like a lot of it is just polish and making the choreography and presentation of the rules that already exist more entertaining. So I think for those that watched Elwyn's Billion Horde Ball, like the presentation in Horde is awesome. He has like the helicopter dropping bomb now for when you actually complete your set and get a new ball added. But the other things are like, and just in talking to Lyman, it's like he doesn't want you to start a mode and then be disappointed that you started a mode.
Like, so I didn't mean to start the blue mode.
I don't want to start Tunnel. I want to start CDC because that one's the best. In Lyman's perfect world, there is no best. They're all great. And there was some rebalancing to Arena that I think makes it a lot better of a mode. I used to avoid it, and the way the scoring used to go, I used to never shoot the ramp more than 3 times in a row because of the way the scoring sort of reset. And he changed it, and now it's better.
Interesting. Does The Walking Dead have a shot at surpassing the AC/DC game in like thought of as like the greatest rule set?
I don't know. It's weird because AC/DC, like there's still some work to be done to clean that up, so we're not playing Hell's Bells all day.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that he can do on Walking Dead that will make it like Walking Dead's a little bit more bread and butter. Like we have modes and we have multi-balls and we have this and that. AC/DC was like a mind F word of how a game can just be made. So like you have this like it's all about the song jackpot, and like it doesn't matter what mode you pick because they all advance towards the same thing. It was a totally new thing.
It just had a second and third level that most rules to pinball machines never even touched on.
Yeah, and like the same way that like you look at Addams Family and sort of the start of those mode-based games is like you look at games before that and it's like, well, this is just a completely new way of pinball happening.
Yeah. It's
like, we have these little mini stories within a game that you're playing for 25 to 30 seconds. This is crazy. And, with Lyman, you just have for AC/DC, there was just these songs and multi-balls that all fed this beast of a song jackpot off the cannon. And it was like everything built this tree trunk. And everything was like branches connected to the same tree trunk. And just crazy. Crazy.
What I love about that, though, is that these games still, and some people really sort of bemoan all this and say, "Oh, it's just give me a firepower, just let me have 6 targets and a spinner." But what I love about AC/DC and in Walking Dead certainly as well, you can still just shoot the ramps and shoot the cannon. You can still just shoot the prison. You can still just kind of shoot the walker guy and get something fun out of that if you don't really understand all those rules.
Definitely. Lyman's good at that, at making stuff for all ages and all skill levels.
Sparky all day.
Sparky all day, baby. That's what my kid does. Loves it.
That's what my wife does. Okay, that's very good. So I wanted to dive into the state championship series rankings just a little bit, hit some high points, because we're getting down to the wire here.
We are. We're getting down to what I call, we're really close to the you can't have any more events on the calendar because of the 30-day rule. Yep. I almost get more excited about the end of November.
That's fun.
Because it means that I can't have, like, the last chance tournament in this state. No, really the last chance. Oh, no, we're going to run 4 tournaments on the 31st. The last one's the last chance.
Yeah. When do players have to declare which state they're going to play in?
January 5th.
Okay, so they have till the end of the year.
Yes.
I really wish that you made players declare in like October.
And what if the state that they declare in, they end up not making the cut, and then they make a cut in another state? Based on the last month and a half.
But they didn't make the cut in the other state because they didn't declare in that state.
So then they're just out.
Yes, because they declared in another state. And they gave everyone 3 months of like an ability to strategize and plan amongst people they're actually playing against.
Teresa, so it's November, whatever, right?
Okay, yep.
What if Teresa hasn't declared anything because she doesn't play, and she wins a tournament in December and qualifies for a state?
I think you have to declare. I think if you're going to be in the state championship of a state, you need to declare.
So she would, but she had not even played before October. She's just screwed.
Oh, that's tough.
Oh,
that's
no.
tough because that could happen in a state with very few.
Of course,
Sure.
Rhode Island, man. You could probably. You have a month left. If you know you're going to be somewhere on the East Coast in Rhode Island, that you could swing over there. Run an event?
I don't. Hold on. Easy on Rhode Island here. I have some really good listeners in Rhode Island who didn't like me making fun of them last year. I would need, what is the top 16 make it?
Top 16.
I'd need 26 points to make the top 16 in Rhode Island right now. I don't think there's 26 Whopper points to be had. When the most tournaments anybody in the state currently has is 2.
And they're probably all the New England Pinball League stuff, so they're not even going to play in Rhode Island anyway.
I don't know. I feel like, yeah. I feel like
you got a chance. You got a chance. Go play 8 months of Super League in 1 month. Go.
Speaking of Super League, Steve Bowden passed Zach Sharp.
Steve Bowden, man,
number 4 in the world.
Number 4. We're gonna make. I'm gonna move everyone down and make a number 0 instead of rank 1, and Steve will just make it to 0.
Steve is
killing.
Steve's killing.
You know what? I almost feel bad for the guy because he has the Super League stuff, but he's also killing it at real stuff.
It's not the Super League. Steve's really great.
Yeah, so it's almost like he's not getting credit for the stuff that he actually should be getting credit for. I know that because I can look at our test site that has the nuked Super League stuff on it for next year.
And where is he?
And he's 9th. Which is still he's top 10.
Yeah.
It's like he's not 3rd or whatever, 4th.
Well,
but
I'll put it this
9th.
way. So if you take Super League, Super League's based in New York only, correct?
Yes.
So
and Steve's in first right now in November. If you check the live stage,
he's in first in New York and New Jersey.
Oh no, I just meant Super League this month.
Oh, okay.
That's ending.
Well, in the state championship series right now, Steve Bowden, number 1 in New York, number 1 in New Jersey, number 3 in Illinois, number 3 in Pennsylvania, number 8 in Connecticut.
Oh, dude, he should come to Illinois.
I'm just saying. I mean, look at that. So if anybody wants to say, "Oh, Steve Bowden Super League," they don't know what they're talking about.
They don't.
We saw him at Expo.
The kid's on fire.
Yeah. So absolutely one of the best out there. And it's interesting. We don't see movements in the top 5 all that often. So when Steve jumped up in there, it was kind of like,
that's the whole idea of what I think makes the system so great. Is it takes a crap ton of work to get up there, usually over a year's worth of work to dig your way up there, and then you get to sort of bask in those results for a while, as long as you can keep it going.
Now, I was kind of razzing you recently, calling you the number 24 player in the world. And I almost meant that as a jab because you were a lot higher than that when you started coming on the show.
I was.
But now you're 22. How did you go back up to 22? What results did that?
Expo, I think.
Expo, okay.
My completely average finish at Expo.
But when there's that many great players, there's lots of points.
Oh, there's that many great players, and I don't play a whole lot, so it's not like the ability for me to get points added to my resume is much easier than someone who's really saturated and plateaued.
How long do results stay on your IFPA?
3 years.
3 years. So anything at 3 years old starts falling off and not counting.
Yes. It goes after 1 year, it drops 25%. After 2 years, it drops another 25%, and then after 3 years, it goes to 0.
So we've recently heard someone like Keith Elwin say that he's playing a little bit less.
He's playing a lot less.
He's playing less. He's traveling less, specifically.
Yes.
Do you foresee that kind of deduction in worth of these 3-year-old tournaments starting to eat at Keith Elwin, or is he still doing enough? I mean, he's the reigning Papa World Champion.
Yeah, I mean, he is doing enough. What is he, 2?
2.
We'll see in his post-retirement, semi-retirement world, 3 years from now, it really becomes about, if you have a resume filled with 20 events, you better be playing, 7 a year, or else you won't even have a resume. And then you start talking about the opportunity to drop your lowest. If you play 30, you get to drop your lowest 10.
Yep.
It's all about opportunity. So the less opportunity he gives himself, the more pressure there is. And I feel this way about where Bowen's always been ranked, which is amazing to me because the dude has 22 events on his resume and he's ranked in the top 10. Or
he's number 20 right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but if you look on his resume, it's you'll see his 20 events and then you'll see a handful of that have any value whatsoever. And then it's all zeros. Whereas you take someone like Bowden and it's or Trent, and you get Trent who has 100 events that have value. And I mean, we joke about where Trent number 2 and Trent number 3 and Trent number 4 would be on the rankings if you take his 21st through 40th best result.
Yeah, it's amazing
So
looking
it's
at his run here. His 20 events that are active in the player rankings.
Yeah.
It's just all firsts, seconds, couple thirds, couple fifths. Just he wins a lot of tournaments.
Oh yeah, and if you play 100 tournaments in a year, it's a lot easier to win 5 of them than if you play 5.
How important do you think it is with some of these top guys like Trent, like Keith, who seem to get the newest games as quick as possible and really dive into the rules? Is that a big edge for them?
I think so. I mean, it's usually an edge for like once or twice before. I feel like I'm pretty solid if I get like a weekend on a game. So
Yeah.
like even with Kiss, I think I only played Kiss at Expo a handful of times, and I got to play it a lot more at Free Play Florida. That like now I'm solid. Like I'm good to go. I don't have to think when I play it now because I know exactly what I'm doing.
Interesting.
Walking Dead took a little bit longer, but it really depends on the game. Game of Thrones certainly is going to take a little bit longer. There's a little bit more to dissect there.
I've had a few emails here at Coast to Coast Pinball about comments I've made versus comments you've made about players, quote, driving the bus, choosing their games in tournaments.
Yes. Nobody likes seeing the same games played all the time.
And it's funny because that's actually not my angle. And I've seen people point that out, and it kind of I smile because I'm like, hey, that's another great argument in my favor, but that's not what I was thinking. My argument against players just being in first place and choosing their game is so the whole thing about pinball is the ball is wild, it's random, it's real. And then you get into these tournament situations where you're playing on a limited set number of games, and somebody can dial into a game or two and just sort of like use that to a degree as a crutch. And some could argue that's strategy, like, hey, I'm playing good on this game, I'm choosing this game. I just like the idea of something more random, something more like you don't know what game you're going to play, but to be the best, you're going to play and win on whatever game you're put on. And you don't agree.
I don't.
You don't. You think that there's value in letting the players choose the games.
There's a ton of value for, like, and we've talked about this, but like if you're an organizer and you want someone who's qualified to continue paying to play in your tournament.
You don't want the Bowen Karens one entry at Papa and done and qualified second.
If you were an organizer, qualifying second's a bad example because there's power with that. If I qualified 11th,
sure,
I'm done. What's the difference between being first and being 11th? Nothing. Order.
I would argue right off the bat you should pay those qualifying spots. There should be money.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So tournaments don't do that.
I understand.
So outside of money, the only other benefits you can do are buys.
Buys, absolutely.
You can do game choice and order choice. And that's about it.
I love order choice. I love order choice because that's really strategic, I think.
Depending on the game.
That's true. Depending on the game.
But if you give someone game choice or order choice, I'll tell you 9 times out of 10 they'll forego the order choice and take the game choice.
Oh, I agree because I think it's a huge advantage. I think it's too big of an advantage, I guess, is what I think. To be in the Final Four, I think that's too large of an advantage. And
I think that it keeps people who are already like Free Play Florida, for example. It kept me. I probably spent an extra $40 in going from like 6th to 1st because
did you qualify first?
Advantage. I did.
Did you win the tournament?
I didn't. See, so what advantage did that work out? Although I picked the same games as Zach, so really he's lucky that I was his driver.
Yeah, you're driving for him.
That's the big thing. And the other thing is, and I've talked with Mark Steinman about this over the years, with video footage now happening, is there's something to wanting to capture the world's greatest players playing really well. And when you throw someone up, and this is back in the day when Papa set up their games impossible, you could pretty much the Circus Voltaire game from last year's Papa Finals.
Yep.
Like that would have been an easy setup game compared to the other choices available. So the idea of let's watch, a major championship go down and all these players just suck. That's not fun to watch. it's not fun to watch. Not every tournament can be the U.S. Open for golf, where everyone's playing on 12-inch rough or whatever.
I don't know. I sort of see the other side of it is I love watching the top few players just get their butts kicked.
Of course, right.
I love it.
But you're a golfer, so you like the U.S. I love the U.S. Open. I prefer to watch the U.S. Open over the Masters. I love watching a guy like shoot a 9 on a hole, and he's just like, how does he not throw his club into the river?
There's definitely a balance there. There's definitely a balance. I think that it means more to me at a place like Papa, or in like maybe the Papa Circuit Finals or the IFPA World Championships, where we're trying to crown the best. We're trying to kind of say, this is the best person.
I can speak to our World Championship and why we do what we do. And our qualifying round is all random game. It's 3 games. It's like Pinburg. So it's 3 games per round, and we have 8 sessions. If you can survive what I call the Lefkoff random number generator, since he did our software, if you can survive those 24 games that are picked for you, you have earned the right to go to war with your favorites against another player's favorites.
Part of me on that, I can play devil's advocate to myself here. In that scenario, you didn't qualify in those same games all weekend?
Yeah, we did. It's the same games.
Well, what I'm saying is like one person didn't pump and dump on like...
Right. You're talking about like you get to play a game once in qualifying.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not going to really know, I'm super dialed in on this particular Adams family.
Well, to play devil's advocate with you there, Papa finals are on different games.
Some different games. It's not always...
It's always different. For the finals versus qualifying,
was it all different games?
Yes.
Nothing?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe I didn't realize that.
So we've just checkmated each other like 11 times, I guess.
That's what we do here, man.
Yeah. So I don't know. I get it. I think, if it wasn't an advantage, like I would have qualified in Free Play Florida in like 10 minutes on Friday, and I would have taken the rest of the weekend off because it wouldn't have mattered. And that would have hurt the pot. So at least in the U.S., there's, that capitalistic needing to raise the pot. In Europe, we're like, hey, welcome to the tournament. You get to play every game once, and it's 6 games, and you're done. Then I think that giving that, or like doing random games for playoffs is better because you're not incentivized to make someone try harder in qualifying. So it's all like motivational from the tournament design.
Absolutely. I get what you're saying. I guess in a perfect world, to me, it would just be, I don't know. I want to see the best, like, just win on anything. And pinball, with the breadth of games we can choose from, is so wide. It has boned me out a little bit when it's like player XYZ is picking, Mustang.
And we're going to see Mustang every 2 hours for the next 8 hours?
Well, and that drags this conversation into the next thing I actually had written down was the broadcasting of tournaments. And how important that's becoming. I just bought a PS4, and I've been saying for a long time I'm not buying any more video game consoles. I don't have time for it, blah, blah, blah. I caved in a little bit on a PS4 because I have some friends playing smaller games. I said, I'll play with you. And I was just jumping around on Twitch looking at people playing certain games. I wanted to see what the games look like. And I added up between 5 different channels of Star Wars Battlefront, 15,000 people watching people play Star Wars Battlefront on Friday morning at like 8 a.m. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Unbelievable.
So it is unbelievable. So all these people watching video games, pinball is still
nowhere, man.
Nowhere
Hundreds.
It's a few hundred people. I can see when I put up videos on certain things, once I break 1,000, I'm like, oh man, that video's really done well.
Right. It's gone viral, baby.
This
Pinball
podcast
viral.
does much better than that, but I think that's, I think it's, not to brag about my podcast or anything, but it's the exception. Most people don't believe me when I tell them listener numbers to this show, but I can see them because it's worldwide though. And to try and get people to watch a person playing a pinball machine is tough, but I think competition is going to be your best chance at getting people to really get excited.
I don't know. I mean, could we probably all argue that, or all agree that the most popular pinball Twitch thing is Jack Danger at this point, playing every day?
I mean, I don't know for sure, but yeah, I would absolutely assume that Dead Flip on Twitch is the most watched
I think so.
pinball. Sure.
I mean, and that is its own baby. It's, Jack being his character. And yeah, he has a lot of followers and he has a lot of people. He does a really good job of interacting with his friends in the chat room or whatever, and just sort of has.
He's a personality. For sure.
Yeah, man, it's dialed. It's dialed in.
It is. And when you try and take that same sort of like enthusiasm for pinball and for watching pinball and move that to the competition scene, I think one of the things that kills competition pinball for the average person is the length of the games, and then to see the same game over and over again.
Yeah, you know what's funny is actually watching pinball is a lot like watching golf, because playing tournament pinball is a lot like playing golf.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of people that think golf on TV is like the worst thing that's ever been created ever.
Absolutely. Yep.
So I think pinball runs into a lot of those parallels of like why it's unwatchable to most people.
I think there's a way to do it. I don't know exactly what it is. I think that part of it's going to be dialing in the recognizable people, making the Josh and Zach Sharp stories, known to the average player.
You know what? I've seen it with what we've done with our Buck Hunter stream. And I mean, that's made me a believer that they built an audience that was 1,500 last year in the first year that they live streamed, and in year 2 they had 250,000 views.
Unbelievable.
Over the weekend. And if you watch the production value, it's insane. And I know because I pay those bills at work, and it's insane. But it takes a lot to get there, but it makes for a more interesting product to watch. I was following the Buck Hunter play. I don't know them, but I got to learn about them, and there was a lot of them on camera versus just watching the game happen. The game happening is such a small piece of the whole pie. And I think that's where a lot of, we broadcasted Nationals and Pin Masters last year, and it's like, all right, guys, well, I think I got to like the point where I was just doing email work on my laptop, but leaving the camera on so people could watch the game. And It's like, it's not about the game when you're looking to like entertain people. The game is like 20% of what is the whole package of what you need to get done. And the people are probably 50% out of the 100.
I agree. I think some of our earliest conversations were about, building pinball as something people want to watch. And really, I don't even view it as like, oh, people are going to settle in on their couch with a bowl of popcorn and watch pinball. To me, it's more watch it, get excited, and go participate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we all want. We want to see these numbers grow. And I'm going to be very interested next week when Pinburg registration opens up.
And it sells out in an hour.
How quick it sells out, 700 spots.
Long as there'll be more Pinburg participants than people that watch the stream.
I mean, maybe live, but
because we're all there.
I don't know. I feel like as this thing gets bigger and I hear more and more people, excited about pinball, and that's happening, I'm still getting those emails. I mean, it's almost old hat to me now, 206 episodes in. I still get these emails all the time. Hey, man, I just found your show. I can't believe you talk about pinball on a podcast. This is great. And
we see the same thing with our player growth. That's like every year I feel like we found everyone that's willing to give like competition pinball a chance.
Yeah.
And somehow we grow 15%.
Yeah.
And at the end of next year, growing 15% means there's going to be like another 4,000 people that as of today, they're finishing their Thanksgiving dinner or they're from Europe. And like by the end of next year, they'll have played in a tournament. And they haven't yet, but they will. Because that's just what happens. It just keeps going.
Well, and look at Stern's business. Stern is like just building a lot of pinball machines right now.
I know. It does not bode well for those that want games to ship complete and all that other blah 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 blah.
No, it's not even. It's about. I mean, you're talking about a company who doesn't build up inventory.
No, they're killing it.
They build games and ship games. And there's more games in production now than there has been in how many years?
Long time, man.
Long time. And you're seeing things like, the spooky pinball Domino's Pizza pin, which some people are laughing at and saying is ridiculous. Well, internally at Domino's Pizza, they're going to sell 100 pinball machines.
It's fantastic.
It's little things like that.
And then you think about assuming that those are going into stores, the kind of people that can see pinball that you wouldn't see it in any other place. You randomly find it or whatever.
From talking with some of the people involved in that, I think it's some of them will go in stores, but I think that's getting overstated a bit. I think what you have there is people who own Domino's franchises. A lot of these people came from nothing, and this was their corner store. This was their 7-Eleven. They bought a Domino's franchise, and they built themselves, maybe not a fortune, but they gave themselves a really nice living, and their life is based around this company. And to then have this really great, fun machine that's labeled with this thing.
That's cool.
It's a lifestyle. It's a piece of their life. So I think that's why people are like, no way did they sell 50 or 60 or 70 machines. Yeah, they did.
We'll see what Charlie does with it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see.
And we see this with Stern in the vault machines. We have, they're running Ironmans still. We saw Ironmans on their Facebook page. That game was dead. It came back. There's rumors of the next one coming out at any given moment, and then other titles that. And it's something that I saw this posted on Pinside. Somebody spoke to Gary Stern, I think, in Orlando, and their take was that Gary didn't realize the demand for some of the older titles. When I say older, I mean like Tron.
Right.
And I had the same experience with Gary. I said that to Gary. I said something about, you should build this one. And he goes, really? And I'm like, yeah. They're selling for $6,000 beat up.
Yeah, I think you think back even 5 or 6 years ago, and the number of new people that are now in the hobby. And it's supply and demand, dude. The demand continues to go up, and without the reruns, that supply is stagnant because it was whatever was built to the market 6 years ago, and it's a market that's underserved now.
Well, it's like look on Craigslist or eBay for a lightly used AC/DC, Tron, Metallica, et cetera, for under the price of a new in-box game.
Yeah, I think what's amazing is how there was a period of time where I wouldn't have added any of Stern's games to my collection, and recently it's just they're hitting these home runs of greatest of all time level games.
Let's name names. What games would you not have added to your collection? What are we talking about?
I don't know. Go back to 2000, between 2000 and whenever
Simpsons came out.
Yeah.
Well, that was what, 03 though?
What was that?
What was that, 03? That game's old. I don't think...
It is old. But even between that, Austin Powers, no. It's I'll add the Keith Johnson stuff. I'll add the Lyman stuff. There's some Lonnie stuff that's okay. But a lot of it was just sort of, what I classify in the lunchbox pinball of
Sopranos?
Get it out. Sopranos okay.
It's okay. CSI 24?
No, thanks.
So what was the first one back? What do you think that was, Spider-Man?
Probably. I'd have to see a list.
I mean, the list goes 24 CSI, Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Lord of the Rings for sure was a home run.
World Poker Tour.
Yeah, I look at when the investors got there, I can remember it was CSI 24, Buck Hunter, Iron Man, Rolling Stones, that era where things were this ain't good. and they've really turned a corner since then and made a lot of top 50, top 25 games that really give entertainment-wise, give those classic Bally Williams games a run for their money in terms of entertainment, and give games like Wizard of Oz and Full Throttle and the other new offerings a run for their money on total entertainment package of a pinball machine. They're just good.
Yeah,
you can't deny it. Can't deny how good they are.
Absolutely. Josh Sharp, I want you to return to your Black Friday family fun, and I'm going to go shopping with
Nice. Was there anything we didn't do? I feel like we left a lot on the table because we just started rolling.
We hit the high notes, man. We got to make sure we do this monthly. It's a pleasure having you on. There's always lots to talk about. There's lots going on, that's for sure. I think there'll be some more stuff to talk about very soon.
That's the one good thing. It keeps the there's no lack of content for you to be able to talk about indefinitely. Thank God you did not find pinball in 2001.
Oh, well, it would have been a quarterly podcast.
One episode per year.
So you and I are going to play a little pinball in a week or so?
I don't know what you're talking about in case my wife listens to this.
We're going to play a little pinball in a week.
We are. It's going to be fun. And you get to see Zach's place, right?
I'm going to see Zach's place.
That's
Zach and I are also going to play some pinball. I'm going to play a lot of pinball that weekend.
I can't believe it's a week away.
It is. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming back on the show. Have a great rest of your holiday weekend, and I'll see you next week.
Sounds good.
Later.
All right. Bye.
All right, everybody, that is episode number 206. I want to thank Josh Sharp. I want to thank you guys for listening. It's been a really busy year. A lot of fun, a lot of good stuff coming in pinball. It's just, there's so much happening. It's exciting. That's all I got. No grand ending here. It's just like, I love pinball. Do you love pinball? I'm thankful for pinball. Are you thankful for pinball? I'm thankful for you. You thankful for me? You don't have to be thankful for me, but I'm thankful for you. So with that, play some more pinball, be nice to each other, and we'll see you next time.